Welcome to the Foot Model Podcast, a podcast for foot models by foot models about the business of foot modeling with advice and ideas on how to grow your foot model business or online adult entertainment business. I'm Mimi Footnib along with my co-host Cute Webbies, and we're here to share what's working and not working for us and our businesses right now. Today, we are going to talk about OnlyFans strategies. Hi, Cute Webbies.
Hey, Mimi, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good.
Good. So let's jump into this. I'm excited to talk about OnlyFans because I've had some ups and downs with OnlyFans myself and some recent changes and things going on on my end, but I'm really curious to check in with you too and see how it's going. You have a free OnlyFans account, is that correct?
Yes, right now I just have the free account. That's kind of what I've always had. Started it around May 2020, and
Okay.
that's just what I've been rolling with. Yeah.
Okay. How's that working out for you?
Well, yeah, oh my gosh, it's definitely gone through phases. I will say, like, as far as my income, OnlyFans is like makes up the largest part of my income personally. I would like to have more people paying me through like Cash App and stuff like that. But to be honest, a lot of my income is coming from OnlyFans currently. But when I first started off, it was a very slow start. And it's kind of cool on OnlyFans. You actually have like some really neat analytics that you have access to and statistics. I wouldn't say, I don't know if analytics is the right word, but statistics about your account. So you can go in and see how you've been growing over time and like subscribers, like payments, people purchasing your posts, people tipping, like you can see all of that through time, which is really cool. So I have definitely seen the growth like in my OnlyFans, and when you look at it, there's definitely some plateaus and then it grows again. So it's one of those. I don't know how your statistics look on your accounts, but that's kind of how mine has been going.
Okay. And so what have you done to, like you said that there's plateaus and then there's growth
hmm
spurts. So I'm just wondering, like, what actions have you taken that correspond with those different times in the growth of your account over the years? Like, how did you kind of settle into the rhythm that you are with it now? And like, what do you feel like has been working? I guess I really want to know what works for you.
Yeah, I think so. Some of the initial growth that I was experiencing was, it's like a brand new account, so it takes a long time for people to find you. So, the first few people that trickle in are like, people who hear about it on your socials. So, that's kind of my first growth spurt is like really actually advertising it on my socials, because when I first started foot modeling, I didn't have an OnlyFans or anything. So you kind of that's going to be your first real strategy for OnlyFans growth. Like that's kind of where you have to start, is just by advertising on your social media, any social media that you have. Of course, being mindful of in places like Instagram where it's not as safe to advertise, or if you do, you have to be very sneaky about it. But yeah, so that's definitely going to help you grow. I feel like there have been times I had some growth actually around the time of our collab. I
Mm.
think because we both were talking about it so much, and we both were like we advertised the collab for months on socials and different places. So I did see like some uptick during that time, not just in subscribers, but also in like just people purchasing things. And I hadn't even posted anything from our collab yet. So that was interesting. That there was just a lot of interest around my account at that time. It's settled down a bit since our collab.
Okay.
But I'm crossing my fingers, hopefully in the middle of another plateau or another growth spurt right now, because I'm really trying to ramp up my networking with other models, doing share for share on OnlyFans, um, because I used to do it in like way long ago in the past, but I kind of fell off doing it when I got busy with my like my day job type of thing. But now I'm really wanting to ramp that up again. And even just a few days of doing it, I've already seen some new people trickle in and buy some stuff, and some new subscribers. So I'm feeling really hopeful that making some connections with new models or with other models will be new to me, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, I'm hoping that that'll be the start of another growth spurt.
Yeah, me too. That sounds really great. So, can you tell the audience a little bit about like what your posts are like on there, what you're doing to, because you have a free account, but you said most of your income comes from OnlyFans. So, explain how that works.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So we can get into this too. There's so many different ways to run your OnlyFans and like strategies for doing so. And the kind of way that I have been running mine since the beginning has been it's a free account, and on the free account I post daily photos, and sometimes a video here and there. Like I post short videos for free that are kind of just basic, but I post daily like feet pictures. Nothing too risque on my free account. I don't really post anything too risque. It's just like feet and then and me, and I don't do any like self worship or anything that I could charge money for basically. But I'm just posting basic free photos daily and occasionally a video, and then weekly. It used to be every 2 weeks, but I've kind of ramped it up. So weekly, I post a paid post. It's kind of my goal right now to post something that people have to pay for weekly in order to view. So every week up, and those are like what we would call pre-mades. If you've listened to previous episodes where we have discussed like pre-made content. So those are my pre-mades, and I kind of just make them when I have time. And those are videos that are either it's like videos or photo sets. They're either not safe for work, or they would just be what I would consider to be more premium content, such as like self worship, giantess, any type of role play, a longer form video, JOI, anything along those lines where you the longer form content that is more premium that people will pay for, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
So that I try to post at least one of those weekly, and that's a way that I would say that's the primary way I make income on OnlyFans, is by people purchasing my paid posts. And I will say, I know Mimi and I have talked about this in the past. It's like sometimes I post a paid post and nobody buys it. Not a
Hmm.
single person. So just for fellow models out there, don't be discouraged if you don't have like tons of people buying every paid post you do, really. I post a lot that nobody ever buys. I would say on average, you maybe will only get 1 to 4 people buying it. It can really vary, but then there's other posts that sell really well over time, where you'll get more than that. So it really varies so much. But that's the majority of my income from OnlyFans. I did just recently turn on paid messaging on OnlyFans. So folks have to send me a tip in order to message me there. So it's very much like Sext Panther, which is another like kind of sexting site that Mimi and myself are both on. It's just a way for us to be compensated for sexting with folks, and so those are my kind of ways that I've been making money on OnlyFans, through
Okay.
tips to message and also paid posts.
What about live streams?
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. I didn't even think about that. Yes. So live streaming, that's been something that's been newer that I've been trying to do more this year. And Mimi and I've done a couple live streams together, in fact, recently, and that's been super fun. But yeah, we live streams are another great source of income on OnlyFans. And we discussed this in a previous episode. When we go live, we are chatting with the folks who are tipping, basically. So guys know when they come into our lives, like if you want to interact with us, you got to send a tip. So that's kind of how I make money on OnlyFans lives, and that's actually a really fun way of making money. It's kind of fun on days when I go live. It's like, I wonder how well I'll do today, or like who will join the live or who will be there. It's fun.
Yeah, because unlike when you just are, turn your camera on and start filming yourself. It's the live stream is really interactive. You don't know really how it's going to unfold or what you'll be
Yeah.
doing on there. I mean, you can have a plan, but depending on who's tipping and what they're requesting and how it's unfolding, it can be kind of a fun surprise.
Hmm.
Also, there's a feature on OnlyFans where you can charge like a cover charge just to get into the live stream. Have you tried using that feature before?
Yes, actually, yeah, that's a great point. I did that one time so far, and I'll definitely be doing it again. So one time I did a stream where I was painting my nails on live, and I don't show my natural nails for free. They're kind of always behind the paywall. So I just made it like a $5 entry fee for the live, and I actually had like a pretty good turnout. I was really happy. I was kind of worried it would just be like maybe me alone or me and like
Mhm.
one other person. But it went really well. But that one I also made the effort of like advertising it all week and stuff like that. So I think if you're going to do a paid one, you put in the effort of like letting people know ahead of time so that you can gain some interest.
Yeah, and you can also schedule it. So it
Hmm.
shows up as a scheduled live stream for your audience. Sometimes, most of the time, I would say I prefer to, when I do a live stream, to just kind of go live when I feel like it, and I don't really give any warning.
Yeah,
But
me too.
sometimes in the past, I have scheduled as well, and sometimes that helps people if they're like, planning, they want to take a break at work or whatever to make sure they're
Hmm.
available for it if it's, they really want to catch you live. So, okay, we're talking generally about lots of different strategies. We have done a whole episode on live streaming, so we're gonna divert away from there. I just wanted to throw it in there as a strategy.
Yeah,
And if you
yeah.
want to go back and listen to the live stream episode, and maybe we'll do another one down the road because I feel like we're always learning new things. We're always
Hmm.
gaining new experiences. And I'd love to hear from other models who do a lot of camming or live streaming, kind of what their success strategies are. I mean, I would imagine there's a lot of different ways to approach it. So, yeah, we'll talk more about that maybe down the road, and you can go back and listen to the previous episode. But today, I think for as far as OnlyFans strategies, we're kind of talking, I think, primarily today about like a free OnlyFans account, but
Uh-huh.
we could also throw in for people who have like the monthly subscription thing where you get all the content for one price. You can also do I think you can also do pay to open messages, not posts, but messages. But
Okay.
you cannot turn on tipping for messages. So if people are paying you like a subscription price, then your messages are just open and they can message you as much as they want.
Oh.
And yeah, so it's a little different because I have both. I have the free account and the paid account. And the other thing that in terms of strategies, it kind of is about pricing. So I just recently, about 5 days ago, increased my OnlyFans subscription price. And this is the second time since I've had my account that I've done this. And I've had the account for uh, maybe 3 years, and a little over 3 years. And it's always really hard. It's always a really hard decision because when you increase the price, everyone's monthly renewal, like auto renewal for the subscription, gets turned off. And then
Okay.
they have to go in and manually agree to the higher price. And
Hmm.
so if you've got people who maybe just uh, are like paying for it every month but don't always come to your page to check in, they're going to get booted off, and they may not even know it for months until they come back to
Oh,
look, right?
yeah.
So like you inevitably lose people because they don't want to pay the higher rate, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so it's always kind of a hard decision to make. And I think that for today's episode, I just want to mention that. And maybe in the future, we can kind of do a deep dive into pricing, OnlyFans subscription pricing.
Hmm.
But I think today we're going to focus more on like the free account because that is where I think it's more accessible to do like a share for share with other models. And this is an area that I want to explore more because it's something that I haven't really done, or when I've dabbled in it, it hasn't been very successful for me. And so I'm kind of trying to think about why that might be. Maybe my content is very niche, or I don't know. Um, Sometimes I feel like I don't know exactly what I'm doing on my free OnlyFans. I just kind of dump random stuff there. And so people, when they come to it, they don't really know what I'm doing because it's got like a little bit of pedal pumping, but then it's got like a lot of femdom type of stuff, or just like shoe modeling stuff. It's just kind of a little sampler of a little bit of everything. And I'm almost coming to see it more as like a vetted social media, like where I can just post stuff almost like I were post as if I were posting on Twitter, something like that, where there's the option to pay for things or tip me on live streams, or tip me to message me, but that, like, to keep my expectation low as far as it being a marketplace where people are on there actually purchasing like the pre-mades and that sort of thing. Because yeah, it doesn't seem like when you were saying a pre-made might sell like 1 to 4 copies, that
Mm-hmm.
that feels pretty accurate in my case too. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I feel like I will sell a lot more in clip stores.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
It feels like to me, and of course, I have just and my audience isn't that big either. But I feel like the people that are on my free OnlyFans, it almost feels similar to like the YouTube viewership, like YouTube subscribers. They're pretty much like they're happy with the free stuff. They're there for the free stuff, and they're really not like looking to spend money or to, they just kind of are happy with a sampling of a lot of little free previews and things. Is
Mm-hmm.
that kind of the way you feel, or is my situation unique?
No, I totally agree. I think, yeah, if you're gonna have a free OnlyFans, you're gotta it's just it's something you gotta realize is a lot of these guys will come to your free page and never spend anything, or maybe never even interact or
Mhm.
anything. And that's to me, like, I've just accepted that. That's totally fine with me.
Yeah,
But the
same.
thing where it is good is like, these people, they're seeing your posts every day. It's like social media, but even when you post a paid post, like, a lot of times they're still having to see that paid post if they come across it. And so maybe it'll pique their interest. Or in my case, what I have kind of found with my content, I have like I don't know, kind of a rotating group of guys. I hesitate to call. I guess you could call them regulars, but I wish they would be a little more regular, if you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
it's just kind of a rotating group of guys who they buy the videos that interest them, and or if I put out a video that interests them, or a photo set, um, they'll pick it up. But I wouldn't say that I have guys out there who buy every single thing I post. That would be nice, but also not everything I post is, like you said, it's kind of mine is a little bit of a mishmash as well. Like, I post some femdom stuff. I post some like humiliation stuff. And then I might also post like a girlfriend experience type of like video where I'm being very sweet. So it's like, I feel like I'm kind of also giving a little bit of a sampling. I have certain guys who I know if I post a natural nails video or photo set, they'll probably pick it up.
Mhm.
I kind of just have started to learn people's things, and it's difficult, like we were talking about earlier privately. Like, I don't even really know what my demographic wants. I think it would be all over the place, to be honest. So I'm giving a little bit of everything. I wish I had more of like a cohesive kind of style. I mean, I think everything is in my style, but I like to experiment with different types of content, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I want to go back to what you said about people seeing the paid posts, because you can, like, as a viewer, as a subscriber, you have the option to hide like paid posts.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I think a lot of people who are really only interested, because a lot of guys don't want to scroll past a bunch of stuff that they have to pay to unlock. Maybe it's like to avoid a sense of FOMO, or because they find it annoying, or they don't want, they only want to be presented with free stuff. And OnlyFans gives them that option. So they can basically just block all of your paid content. So one thing that I notice can be somewhat helpful in those cases is, or a strategy that I've used is, when I post a video, I will make a preview, and the preview might be like 3 seconds or 15 seconds or 30 seconds. Usually the longer the video, the longer a preview I give, but not always. It depends what the video is and how many different kind of scenes or angles there are. But I try to give a preview that's pretty representative of what they're going to see in the video. Anyway, I will post the paid post, like the pre-made, and then I'll take a link to it and make a separate post that's just the preview with a link to the paid video so that it'll
Yeah.
show up. Does that make sense? So that the post
Yeah.
itself doesn't have like pay to unlock. So I'll caption it with something like, here's a preview of this video. Click this link to watch the whole video. Like, click here to see the whole video. And
Mm-hmm.
then when they click it, it takes them to the post where they have to unlock it.
Perfect. Yeah, that's really smart. And I've actually seen some other creators that I really admire on OnlyFans doing the same things. And I don't know if like they were doing it for recent videos or like videos from their archive, but I've seen,
Mhm.
yeah, like the linked paid post. That's a great strategy. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So getting around ways that guys might try to avoid seeing your posts, like putting
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes I don't put a video preview. I'll just do some like still screenshots of the video.
Nice. Yeah.
And that's your preview, like, oh, watch the video that goes with these like screenshots.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course you can also message people with pay to open messages.
Yeah.
And a lot of people really like that. Because I use my messaging to chat with people, I prefer not to spam them with
Mm-hmm.
like content. And because my content is kind of varied like yours is, I don't want to spam somebody that's into pedal pumping with a bunch of like small penis humiliation videos. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's
Yeah.
just kind of my style. But I know some people claim that the messaging is what really works. And if you want, and what, like, I know that this is a pedal pumping person, I could put them in a group, right? And you can just message
Mm.
your pedal pumping people, or you can just message your small penis humiliation people
Yeah.
with like pre-mades, or a link to a pre-made, and be like, hey, I just posted this, thought you might want to see it. I think you can drill down into like creating groups based on what your people are buying.
Okay.
Um,
Nice. Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about? Like the lists, how you can
Uh-huh.
make lists, like have a friends list and have a
Yeah.
small penis guys list, or whatever.
That's great.
Or
Okay.
like a
Yeah.
nylons list. Like, oh, these are the
Uh-huh.
guys that always buy my nylons videos, or these are the guys that always buy my bare like unpolished toes videos. And then
Mm-hmm.
you can like let them know when you've got content like that coming out, because I imagine some of these guys are probably subscribed to like dozens or hundreds of models, and so they're
Yeah.
just getting bombarded with stuff constantly. So
Yeah.
I don't track that closely, like I just, and that's probably why I'm not as successful as other people.
No. No, it's yeah, and a lot of the stuff is you could look at your OnlyFans statistics as well to find out a lot of that stuff. Or I believe you can click on posts and see who's bought them as well if you wanted to do like kind of a deep dive.
Yeah, I
Um,
like that idea. I
yeah.
just have to like get down to work, I guess. But
Yeah.
I'm really curious about like, because one of the downsides of OnlyFans is that you have to share your link with someone. Like, there's no feature where someone could just go into OnlyFans and search your name, or search for
Hmm.
like pedal pumping and find all the pedal pumping creators or whatever, or double penetration or whatever people are into, right? And so you have to recruit people off of social media basically, unless you do some sort of share for share type thing, which I think
Mhm.
is kind of the probably number one way people are growing their accounts these days. And so
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear, you said you're kind of getting into that. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, I'm getting into it. And part of my reason is, as a lot of us know, and as we've talked about on the podcast, it's so hard to get engagements on social right now, on social media, even Twitter or X or whatever the hell they want to call it. Twitter's having problems with engagement, limiting our engagement. Instagram, of course, is a huge problem. And then you know, so another option, other than advertising yourself on your socials, is to do share for share or SFS. A lot of times, models will reference it as, with other models on OnlyFans. And I had been, yeah, so my personal kind of story with this, I had been not doing it. I'd been out of the share for share kind of loop for a long time, and I even had friends who were models who I followed their OnlyFans, and they would kind of send out mass messages to creators every month, like asking like if I wanted to do share for share, and I would just ignore the messages. Just recently I decided, you know what, I'm gonna message back at least the girls that I know personally and do a little share for share with them. So I first set it up with Miss Piggy Toes, or Miss Piggy Feet, of course, and a really wonderful, awesome content creator. If people out there are not following her, her name's Michelle. She goes by Feet Worth Following on most of her socials. She's a true girl's girl. She's awesome. Like, so she did share for share with me as well. And pretty soon after I did share for share just with those two ladies, I had other models who were adding me on OnlyFans who I didn't know of, who were subscribing to my page and asking if I wanted to do share for share with them. And so I was really excited. I was like, oh, great. Like, cause I'm actually not subscribed to that many models on OnlyFans. It's mostly just people I know. So I'm really looking, if any models are listening and would like to be mutuals on OnlyFans or do share for share, please reach out to me. Cause I'm looking for more models to follow and support, and do share for share, of course. And yeah, so pretty soon I had other girls following me on OnlyFans and reaching out. And then Michelle, Feet Worth Following, she actually put me into a group on Twitter of a bunch of girls, and they're all sharing their information for September and October, share for share. So we're just like scheduling this shit like way out, and I'm like meeting all these new models. Well, I mean, they've been in this on the scene and everything, but they're new to me, for me to like network with them. And so I've been kind of like slowly reaching out to them, and they've been reaching out back. And typically how it works, just for people who are new, because I was kind of daunted because I feel like share for share has changed a lot since when I first started on OnlyFans. It's become a little bit of a kind of official thing. Like, so a lot of times when you are talking with another model about share for share, they'll want to know what dates you're looking at. Most of the models that I've talked to have wanted like a couple dates. And so we'll agree on a couple dates. We'll queue up the posts. They send you a whole write-up of what you're supposed to post for them, and a photo, or maybe more than one photo. And then you send them a little write-up about yourself and some photos of yourself. And the idea is like you're writing this post that's going to be posted on their page advertising yourself. So on mine, I keep mine pretty basic. I've seen some that are very long, but mine is like check out cute webbies, and it has my link. It has a list of the type of content that I offer, web-toed content creator, like hiker socks, video chat, sexting, femdom, just different type of, it's kind of a list of, some girls will go into detail, like, I do dick rates, I do, this, I have this type of content, boy, girl, blowjobs, foot stuff, they'll list all the type of content that they have in their write up. So that's kind of like if you want to get started, I would say start by doing a little write up for yourself so that you can share it with other models. And yeah, then you basically just queue up posts for each other on the days that you selected. And a lot of models will make the posts expire in a day or 3 days. So on OnlyFans, you have the option when you're creating a post to set like an expiration date for the post. So that way, after it posts, it'll delete from your account after like 24 hours or after 3 days. I know some models I've worked with, they only have them set for 24 hours. I have mine set for 3 days for share. I feel like that's really all you need is like 24 hours or three days. You know what I'm saying? It's just enough for folks on people's pages to see each other and hopefully follow.
Yeah, okay. So, and this kind of works primarily with the free accounts, is that right?
That's kind of what I've seen. A lot of the models who are doing this, some of them have a free and a paid, some of them just have a free. A lot of them will use their free account. If they do have both, they'll use their free account for share. First of all, because it's easier for models to follow each other on free
Hmm.
accounts versus
Right.
paid accounts. There's a way to send a fellow model a trial link of your paid account so that you can support each other on your paid accounts. But it's kind of complicated. So I think most people just do it on their free for that reason. And also, I think people try to keep their paid accounts like free of what would be considered advertisements,
Mhm.
for other models. So that's fair. I'm sure people do share on their paid too. I bet they do. But most of the ladies I've been interacting with are this is all on their free accounts. And yeah, so that's it's a great way to hopefully grow your OnlyFans. And I'm looking forward to kind of giving like an updated kind of like view of how it's been working for me, because I'm going to try to go hard with it and see how it works and just get into this loop of networking and into this like schedule of queuing up stuff for other models, having them queue up stuff for me, and seeing how it can go. The other thing I will add, OnlyFans limits how many promotional posts you can post per day, which I'm just now finding out. So you can only make like 3, I think, of these share posts per day, or you can queuing them up, right? So I can only queue up 3 per day. So it is kind of a pain in the ass. Like I have to try to remember the ones that I still have to like go back and queue up. So I have a list going, but
Oh gosh. Okay, that
yeah.
sounds complicated, that part, That's
Yeah,
what I
it's not
was
the
gonna
best.
ask you actually, because this really sounds interesting and it's appealing to me, and I'm like, oh, I want to do this. But because I love the idea of more networking and just getting to know more foot models and sex workers, but I'm just wondering like what's the time investment? And
Mhm.
also like how do you try to find people who have similar kind of genre, like do similar kind of work, or is it like you're, cross promoting like people who do, what we consider more like traditional porn type work, or is it just like foot fetish stuff? Or you like tell me more about the models that you're working with.
Yeah, so as of right
And
now, I've
sorry,
been
and
kind
the
of
time commitment. Sorry, and I also want to
oh,
know the
yeah.
time commitment too. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, sorry. No, as of right now, I've been, I think, mostly just working with other feet models, and some of them have various content. Like I've seen some other gals who have like maybe they do offer sex content or blowjobs or things of that nature, but it's like it's basically a foot account plus some extra is I guess what I would call it.
What plus?
Um, but yeah, feet plus. And I guess my account is kind of like that. It's feet plus. So I kind of feel like I'm right now working with other creators who are similar. However, I will say I've seen other people's share posts where it's like, oh, they're working with all kinds of creators. Like there's one gal I follow who she does share for like male content creators. And yeah, folks who do more like traditional porn type of content. So yeah, it's I think it's you could gear it to promote people who are more in your realm, which is I think what I'll probably end up doing. But you know what? If I was approached by a male content creator who asked me to share for share or something, I would say sure. Or, someone who did something a little bit different, I would be open
Mhm.
personally.
Mhm.
Um, and as for time commitment, that's the only, so it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long, really. It's not too terrible. The problem is like waiting to be able to post those, like to queue those posts up, since you can only do 3 per day.
Mhm.
That's kind of the annoying thing, is like not forgetting. So if you're kind of a forgetful person like me, you have to put it on a list. Um, but that's it shouldn't take that long, right? Because ideally, like, you get into the loop with networking, you'll have girls messaging you asking for share, and then you copy paste them your info, you send them a photo, they do the same for you. You copy paste their info that they just sent you. You save their photo. And so all that process is really pretty quick, under 5 minutes. Like, but the hard part is, like, right now I have a couple models that I need to queue stuff up for still, but I'm not able to currently. So I have to wait till later this afternoon when my OnlyFans will allow me to create 3 more posts. And so that's kind of the annoying thing, is like could become like a daily thing, which is, I know, super annoying for some people, to have to like have something where you're on it like daily. And it's annoying because it's like, well, if it's a 24-hour period, I kind of do have to be on it if I'm going to be queuing stuff up for lots of people. So that's kind of
Right,
been
right. Or you limit how many people you work with.
yeah, that's a good idea too. Yeah.
If that becomes too overwhelming, right? Then you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, I do like a share for share with, 3 people a week, and that's like what feels manageable to me or whatever. Do you ever
Yeah.
have, I mean, maybe it's still kind of early on to say, but like where, you've agreed to do a share for share and then the other person doesn't post you. They like you get lost in the shuffle, they forget, they get busy, they just are a flake, whatever. Like,
Oh my gosh, I haven't had that happen yet. But
okay.
I guess, yeah, be on the lookout for that. Like, if you're doing a new share for share with somebody new, like, all these people are new to me. So far, I've seen all of the posts show up on time as expected. Um,
Okay.
and even if you're not following their account, I think it should at least show up in your mentions. So you should be notified. And if you're doing share for share with someone and you're not notified that they've shared you, um, I would, yeah, like, I guess not do that in the future with that person, because that would suck. But yeah, I don't know how
Yeah.
common that is, but yeah, I think it's worth keeping an eye on for sure.
Yeah, I haven't had a lot of share for share experiences, but I did have one with somebody that I connected with on Twitter, and I shared her a long time ago, and she never shared me. And
Oh,
I had this kind of early experience that was not so great. I'm like, huh, I just feel a little
that
bit
sucks.
used, and like I have trust issues anyway, so this isn't great for me. So I was curious if that's a thing, but it sounds like you haven't had that experience. So that's good. It's
Yeah.
encouraging.
I would say hopefully not. I think there's always like some people that are going to ruin a good thing, but I think in general, most models are like wanting to help each other. And if they're even bothering with doing share for share, they generally have good intentions. So, yeah, but I think it's worth keeping an eye on, just to like know who to continue having a relationship with, like, for networking. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I'm all about getting more into networking. I do feel like that is an area where I have not been really very proactive. And it's like I've established some like nice friendships and relationships with different people in the community. And then I'm like comfortable and I haven't really worked on expanding beyond that. So I think
Mhm.
that's something that I need to kind of set as a goal for myself, getting to know more people, doing more networking, getting on this, getting aboard the share for share train.
Yeah,
Um,
now that you have your free page, like, because your free page is a little newer than your paid, right?
yes, yes, it's actually I started it. Um, I think it was back last year in April or May. So
Okay.
it's really just barely a year old at this point. And it's taken me a while to kind of figure out, like, to find my groove on it and
Yeah.
even to build an audience. I'm like, it's free, come join. And it's like hard to get people to want to sign up for one more thing, right? And it's taking me, and I'm still kind of evolving it and trying to figure out what to post there because I do have different kind of categories of content in different places. And then, like I said, the free OnlyFans is almost just like a little sampler platter of bits of everything. And I
Uh-huh.
don't know if that's like, I don't feel like that's a great strategy, but at the same time, um, because I think of it like a social media, it's like, oh, I do a little of this and I do a little of that. And if you want, if you want more pedal pumping, you can get it here. If you want more like dangling and shoe modeling and that sort of thing, you can go get it here. And I have
Hmm.
like different places, but it's also hard because, OnlyFans doesn't let me talk about Patreon or link to, you can only like basically link to things that are non-competitive.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a problem. You got to be careful um,
And then
with that.
OnlyFans also will only, well, I mean, it just will refuse. It'll say, like unallowed, disallowed word or whatever. I don't know. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
forbidden. Yeah.
Yeah, but it won't let you post it. And then OnlyFans allows you to have only two accounts. So
Yeah.
if I want to have like a puddle pumping account and then I want to have a shoe modeling account, I mean, ideally it'd be great to have it just all on OnlyFans, but I can't. I had to go, get another platform, which I chose Patreon, which I don't know how I'm not wild about Patreon, but because I wanted to do a whole different type of genre and OnlyFans limits you. So
Yeah.
OnlyFans is got its weird glitches and problems and issues.
It does.
It's kind of the mainstream thing, so it's what we're doing, right? At least that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and maybe one of these days I'll get on, Fansly or Loyal Fans or all these different ones, like,
Hmm.
but right now, yeah, this is what we're we're working with.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
this is where it's at, OnlyFans. So, in conclusion, is there anything else that you'd like to add to the strategies discussion this round? I mean, I feel like we could go deeper into different directions, but for what we've covered today, what else? Any closing comments or additional remarks?
Only thing I would say is just to plug myself again to fellow models who want to do share for share. If anyone out there would like to do share for share or to just, be mutuals on OnlyFans with me or like for like, I would love to get more, I would love to follow more models on OnlyFans and support each other. So you can reach out to me. Twitter is a great place to reach out to me about OnlyFans related stuff. I'm at Cute Webbies over there. Yeah, please reach out if you're a model and you're listening to this. I don't care how big your account is. If you started it yesterday, we can share for share. We can help each other out.
Yeah, same. Same. My OnlyFans is um, Mimi Footnip Clips, and that's probably the
Hmm.
best way to connect with me is just directly go to my OnlyFans and subscribe, and I'll subscribe back to you
Yeah.
if you're a creator, Mimi Footnip Clips. So, in addition to reaching out to both of us for share for shares or just, for whatever mutual support on OnlyFans, we are also working on building a Telegram group for models. And if that's something that anyone's interested in, you can also message us about that and get like a special invitation link and some more information about that group and the purpose of it and how we envision it and plan to use it. Um, right? I mean, does that sound?
Yes. No, yeah, definitely. Please reach out about our Telegram group because we're going to be getting that started, and we would love like a bunch of models to join, so we could all network with each other and help each other out. So if you would like more information, just reach out to Mimi or myself, and we can send you all the info.
Yay. Yes. Okay, great. All right, let's end here because this is a long one, and we'll be back in 2 weeks, every other Friday. You can expect an episode from us. And if people have questions or comments or topics they'd like to hear us discuss, you can reach out by email to me at mimifootnip@gmail.com and to cutewebbies at rinkusaminkus@gmail.com. Or I guess on your Twitter, is that also an option?
Yeah, Twitter's a safe place to message me, or of course you can add me on my free OnlyFans if you're on OnlyFans. It's onlyfans.com/cutewebbies. And if you're a model, I'll add you back so that we can message each other.
Hey, same.
Yeah.
All right, great. Thanks for the good chat and all the info and updates, Cute Webbies. And I wish you all the best with your OnlyFans, and everyone out there keep growing and